Very good. We're online. Anybody waiting? Not a soul. I am ready when you guys are. Just checking out to make sure everything's working okay. I don't know if it is or it isn't. Is the frequency in use? I thought not. Never is. Never has been. Never will be. But here we go. This is our number. I'm not even ready. Hold on. Okay, there we go. We're on number 504, and we're working our way from there. We're starting tonight from the south. This is K4PEW with the Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net. We already asked if there was priority traffic. I'm a little bit out of sorts here. That may be broken anytime for true emergencies. It doesn't mean you need to feed your dog or take trash out. You can see our net. Well, you can see the net on YouTube right now, and that's on. You can look that up under my call K4PEW on the search block, or you can look it up under Brain Trust's channel BRAINTRUSTS. You'll see it. The symbol is actually it's a wedding picture from my wife and I. So, but anyway, you'll see that in the results. Also, you can see us on a website. It's 146415.net, peculiarly like our frequency, 146415.net. Or you can go to Yahoo Groups at MJ_SS, MJ_SS. Or, last of all, you can send me an email at K4PEW@ARRL.net. I normally meet at 8 p.m., which we have been doing for, 5 years plus now. Well, almost 5 years. On 146415 on Wednesdays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. We've been pretty religious about that. We conduct the net, as I just said, at 146.415 megahertz FM simplex. The purpose of the net is to have fun and try to induce people to have better Radio Shacks, antennas, and operating standards. And it's worked out successfully in that regard. Lots of people have improved their systems, including me. We invite everyone to use the net to announce amateur radio events, activities, etc. Is there anybody? Well, let me read my announcements first, which of course is today's Saturday. So tonight we have the buy, sell, swap, and swindle net following the 2-meter net, and then we've got, even though we had a ham fest today, maybe everybody who get to bring home all their crap, they can sell something here. Also, we have the upper sideband net on 144.240 immediately following the net. Immediately following the buy, sell, swap, and let's see what else I have. Today's the 27th. Does anybody else have any other? Well, let me get the announcements now. Dang, so busy talking about other stuff. Sorry about that. The whole Hamfest thing got me burned out today. Let's see. We finished up with the Greater Nashville Ham Quest, and that was I think it was a very productive day for most people. The 17th, August 17th, which is only a couple of weeks away, in Alabama at Huntsville, we've got the Alabama State Convention, which is also a very big ham fest there in pretty big. I guess Dayton and Orlando are bigger, but this is a decent one. Biggest one that I know of, except for the one I've heard about over there in the Carolinas, but I've never been to that one. The Huntsville is pretty good, and that's on the 17th. Cedars of Lebanon is on the 24th, so August is a big month. The 17th in Huntsville, and 24th for the Cedars of Lebanon. And then that's it for the moment. Anybody else have any other announcements? Nothing heard. All right, I met a lot of people. Another big announcement here, that's big, but I met a whole bunch of people. I met a whole bunch of people at the Hamfest who I had not met before, but I have either checked in occasionally or frequently, and now my mind is completely turned to toast, and I probably won't remember. Hold on 1 second. I feel like my radio is timing out here for some reason. I don't know why. It's making noises at me. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. All right, does anybody have any other announcements? No, it wasn't the radio at all. It was something else making a beeping noise. all these silly appliances. Any other announcements? All righty, when we're in good shape, then we'll start taking check-ins. Oh, yeah, I was going to say that please don't be offended if I don't remember the call or the connected name, so it'd be very helpful. If you give your call a name, I'll be grateful. And we'll go from there. Working from the south first is K4PEW, the Mount Juliet Simplex Net. Please come in.
Kilo Echo 4 Yankee Victor.
Hey, Larry, I saw you momentarily, and we were crowded when you were there.
Yeah, pretty crowded. I just walked around and seen what was there and talked to some folks, so no big deal.
Yeah, no, it was decent. I thought I'd love to hear what the attendance was, but it seemed pretty big.
Oh, yeah. And if Wes is listening, you know, how you always said about the pretty girls at the Ham Fest. Well, I found him one. Get him to tell you about her.
Okay. I will. All right, very good. We don't want to denigrate anyone who was there. It's kind of a joke because almost no women show up at Ham Fest. But there were. I saw a couple there. Ingrid, who was in a wheelchair. So she was, that's Tom K4KY, I believe it's called. It's Tom's wife. Nice lady. I've met her before a couple of times. Well, very good, Larry. You sound good. Anything else for the net? Did you buy anything today?
I was going to buy a radio, but they didn't have one.
Well, there's lots of radios there, just not the one you want. Very good. Well, good. Well, maybe we'll go down. We'll meet you down in Huntsville and we'll buy some.
Okay.
All right. We'll catch you later, Larry. Larry and Rockvale confirms a busy Ham Fest today. Who else, South? Please come in.
Kilo Delta 4 Zulu First November Yankee, Bill.
Hey, Bill. Hold on one second. I got Ed came in first. KD4ZGY. How you doing?
Good evening, Paul. KD4ZGY down here in Shelbyville, outside of Shelbyville and Shake Rag, Tennessee. There, a little community outside of Shelbyville. Anyway, there we didn't make it to the Ham Fest. Put that up front. But anyway, maybe we'll make it the next time. There's a lot going on here, and we need to get a lot of things done. And of course, you know I'm retired now, and I don't have much time to do anything like I thought I would. But I'm just joking there. But anyway, y'all have a good night there. Appreciate it, Paul, and I hope everyone had fun at the Ham Fest. I will say that there. Good evening to you, and I'll turn it back to you, Paul. KD4ZGY.
Yeah, very good. I think it's earlier than that in a while. That's great. Glad to have you in there. Good. Yeah, maybe you go to Huntsville. That'll be good.
Yeah, we'll make it to Huntsville there. We always do there. Appreciate it, and I know you got some more there. I need to get back. My wife's not feeling well tonight. I got to go back and check on her. KD4ZGY. We'll let you go. Bye.
All right. Hoping for the best for your ex-wife. I hope she feels better, and good to hear from you today. Good. That was Ed in Shake Rag near Shelbyville, Kilo Delta 4 Zulu Golf Yankee, and I heard Bill in there. It's November Yankee. How you doing, Bill?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Hope everything's going fine with everybody. Sorry, I just can't make those Ham Fest. The walking abilities just aren't there anymore.
Well, I tell you what, I was there from about 7:45 until about 1:30, and I was wore out just from walking around and standing for most of the time. So don't feel too bad.
All right, now, well, other than that, I don't have anything new.
Well, very good. Yeah, we'd love to see you there, but I mean, I know how it is. I really do. There's several people that I'd like to have there, but it's just for one reason or another they can't get out to a Ham Fest. So it'd be good to have you there.
Yeah, well, we'll get you another time, so I'll back on out there and let these other good folks in there for a minute or two.
Hey, I told you I need an apology here. It's KG4NNY? That's not right.
Kilo Mike.
You see, you doubled. So I said it threw me for a loop. You doubled, or he doubled with you, whichever way you want to look at it. And I when I'm writing down, I just write down the November Yankee, and I couldn't recall the first two. I couldn't recall the second letter. So sorry about that, Bill. It's important, but I told you my brain is a little bit muddled today. Anyway, that's Bill, Kilo Mike 4, November Yankee. He's in Murfreesboro. Good signal. It'll be good to see you. I hope I see you in the soon. Anyway, good to have you in there. And you got a good signal. Who else, Sal?
KR4AZ.
Yeah, I got that one right. So I also had, no, that's good. We didn't double there with anybody. How you doing there, Mr. Sullivan?
Doing good. Hadn't checked in a while. What was it? Last weekend or something? All that lightning. I undone everything and didn't get it hooked back up to what when I checked in on the net Friday, Bible net Friday. That's. But I had grandkids over and everything else. Just pulled a different direction. So I seen my email come across and so I'm gonna get in there and check in on that. If I maybe he's doing south first. Sure enough, there you go. You hit the lottery.
No, it's you hit the lottery. Well, no, like I said, we had 26. I didn't even do a follow-up from last week. I mean, last net, but we had 26 people on Wednesday, which was kind of shocking. I don't know why. It just was. It seemed to be a slow start, and all of a sudden here we were with 26 at the end of the thing, and there were still people missing. So it was, and people missing. I mean, there's people who often or regularly check in and weren't able to for one reason or the other.
Yes, sir. I understand. I guess last weekend I had everything shut down because that lightning just hovered right around the house here. I mean, this storm just laid in on top of me. And like I said, then I out of sight, out of mind, doing other things. I think I didn't even check in the Bible net till Friday, and that's when I hooked up. But anyway, I want to get in here and say hi to everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Paul, hope you're doing well. I'll turn it back over to you and let you get on down the line. Appreciate it. KR4EZ, Clear AQ.
Yeah, very good. That is Kilo 4 Romeo, excuse me, Kilo Romeo 4 Alpha Zulu, and he is in Murfreesboro, I believe. And that's we'll call him Sully for the moment. I like that. I like that nickname. Anyway, good to have you in there. Good signal, and I'm glad you're able to make it in tonight. Sorry you couldn't make the Hamfest. I didn't see you there. You were there?
No, I didn't do the Hamfest. That's kind of hauling stuff out to my daughter's house and running errands, and we didn't get back to the house here today till 4 o'clock, something like that. So just doing other stuff.
Oh no, I understand. I just I was going to say if you were there, I missed you, but it was pretty busy. I'd love to. Anyway, not everybody can get to every Hamfest, and I don't either. So, I mean, I kind of feel I can't miss this one if I can avoid it. Avoid missing it, that is, because it's something we're directly involved in Wilson County, and it's kind of important that we show up. Because we had a table for the Simplextons there, so and quite a few Simplextons showed up, and several had tables, so we were kind of an integral part of what was going on. Anyway, good to have you in there, Sully. And again, Kilo Romeo 4 Alpha Zulu, and he's in Murfreesboro. Who else is south?
Kilo 4 Oscar Foxtrot Oscar.
Oh, there's a guy who's trying to run me over with that cart.
Yeah, I tried, but you kept moving and dodging. I just didn't get a chance to get a good head start on you.
Well, it's like in soccer or in hockey. If you push me into another vehicle or knock me down, somebody else knocks me down, then you get an assist.
Roger. Good to see everybody there today, and hope they had a good time. We try to improve it every year. You was asking about attendance. I'm not sure myself what it was, but I felt like we had a pretty good crowd, and hope everybody enjoyed it.
Oh no, I think it was great. I don't remember it being that busy before, than the previous places, but it seemed like it was pretty active.
Yeah, if anybody's got any comments, good or bad, they want to let us know sometime or send us a note. We'd like to know because we're trying to improve it every year.
Well, let's put it this way. I assume that attendance is good, and because when vendors like the Ham World and the other outfit, which name escapes me for the moment, when they show up, it means that something's going on that's good for them. And they wouldn't show up because it costs them money to show up. They got to bring their whole shebang in.
Yeah, Roger. We're hoping some of these other big name groups be looking at us for long because I think they'd like to get into this area and do something on down the road. So we're keeping our fingers crossed on it anyway.
Oh yeah, no, I think it's headed in the right direction for certain. I mean, it's not Orlando, and it's not Dayton, and it's not Huntsville, but I mean, for where we are and what we got going in this location, I think could get much bigger as time rolls on.
Great, yeah. Well, I'm gonna let you get on with it. Thanks. Good to see everybody today. And I'm glad I finally got to check into the net. Maybe I'm settled down here at the house for a while now.
Yeah, I got you. Very good, Donnie. That's Donnie, Kilo 4 Oscar, Foxtrot Oscar, and he is in, he's south of me. He's actually in Hermitage, but he's south of me, just east of Mount Juliet Road, down towards the lake, 6 miles or so. Well, he's east of the lake and east of 140 or 171. Who else is south? Please come in.
Kilo India 4, November Delta November.
Hey, David, you got a particularly good signal tonight? Doing anything different?
No, sir. I just thought I'd check in on with all I got. I squeezed this mic button a little harder, maybe get a little louder, right?
Yeah, you know, you're really, the audio is very good tonight. I don't know, conditions must be extraordinary. Sometimes your signal, well, sometimes you're fooling me and you're on low power. So.
Yeah, well, I felt like burning up some juice this evening, Mr. Paul. How'd everything go at your ham fest?
Well, I think it's good. It's one of those deals. You know, the reason Coca-Cola, well, you have to ask yourself, you've heard the question probably, why does Coca-Cola advertise when in fact they seem to dominate the world? It's because they need to keep their logo and their name in front of people. And that's how I feel about a lot, like this net and about Simplex operations, is that I don't think we gain any converts by being there. I just think that, you know, keeping our name and face in front keeps our own people interested, and they feel more comfortable knowing that we're promoting, you know, what they like.
Oh yeah, and you'll get a straggler coming all the time. New young ones coming in, and anyway, Mr. Paul, I won't keep you. Just kind of ran in here and got on the last minute, and hope everybody had a good evening, has a good evening, and we'll catch up with you next time, sir. K-I-boy, India.
Yeah, very good. That's David, and he's in Reedyville. That's Kilo India 4, November, Delta, November. The signal's not too strong. It was only like an S2, I think I saw on the meter, but the audio is just, you know, just great. No problem whatsoever. All righty. Who else south? Please come in.
K4IDC.
Hey, Jake, you made all your money back, did you, tonight?
I don't know if I made any, but quite a bit changed hands.
Well, you know, we'd like to think every piece we want to sell is worth, you know, worth a lot of money, when in fact it's just a used piece of stuff.
Well, I know the person I've been helping out will be glad that more stuff is gone and changed into cash.
Ah, very good. That's right. You were doing that on consignment, weren't you? Yeah. Well, yeah, that's good. Man, can you imagine how much stuff is, you know, has been sold that way or could be sold that way?
No, I don't have that good of imagination. Sorry.
I mean, it seems like it'd be a lot because, well, I just think it was. I mean, that's one of the pieces of equipment I have was sold, not as a consignment, but it was, I think it was a divorce sale, and I got it for a song.
Buy a Corvette for $50.
Yeah, well, yeah, a little one of those Tonka toys. Well, all right. I'm glad you did all right. It was warm in there, but not terrible. It was just okay, you know. But that heat and standing around, it gets old.
Yeah, I think next year I'll take a fan and put it on, blow it on me.
Yeah, that would be helpful. Or if you can swing a power outlet and some AC that blows right on.
Well, there was a power outlet right at the table. It was very conveniently located. So next time I'll bring my own fan club and plug it in.
You're the right person to ask. Why? I just got something from Amazon. I think it was Amazon today. It's an A24 battery, and it's just a little battery. It's smaller than the AA, and it's about 2/3 the size of a AA. It's an A Alpha 23. I don't remember why I ordered it. You're gonna have to find out why.
What electronic device does that go in?
That's what I don't know. It's a 12 volt. This little battery is 12 volts. I have no idea why I ordered it.
I've seen those before, and I've had occasion to use them. It seems like the last time I used one of those, I want to say it was in an altimeter for a rocket project, but I'm not 100% on that.
Oh, there you go. I knew it's my altimeter I was using for my car.
Right. The Bluesmobile.
I have no idea. My wife says, give it up. You'll remember sooner or later. I'm like, I can't stop thinking about why I would order $3 for a dual pair of batteries that are 12 volts each. Why? And I still can't figure it out. It's bothering me.
Well, that's all you've got to bother you, welcome to the first world.
Oh, no, if that's all I got to bother me, my life is a dream, really. All right, it is. I living the dream, as they say. Well, Robin, good to have you in there. That's Robin, Kilo 4, India Delta Charlie. He is saying he's just across the road, kind of, from Donnie, K4OFO, down there in Hermitage. He's just west of 171, closer to Percy Priest Lake, in the flood zone, as I like to think. Who else south of 40? All right, then we'll move over to the east of Mount Juliet.
WA4ZHI.
Hey, you didn't show up today. What's going on, man? You didn't have any money on you?
Well, I had money. I just wanted to keep it.
Well, yeah, that's the deal. You know, it's funny. I actually saw. I rarely. Well, I can be an impulse buyer, but I saw this microphone. I said, man, that's such a good price. I'd like to get it. And then I said, I've already got one of those. Do I really need a second one? And I walked away from it.
Matter, just buy something.
Yeah, again, just buying for buying's sake isn't the right way to do things, you know, because then it just sits here and rots instead of sitting somebody else's place and rotting.
It's a spare. You'll always have one.
Yeah, I know. Well, it was one of those MC60 desk mics made by Kenwood, and they sell new for $150. He was selling it for $35, and I think the reason was, I hope, was the reason he had cracked and repaired the microphone holder, you know, on the stand. And I imagine that's the only thing wrong.
Well, what a deal! You might not find it anywhere else.
No, probably not. But somebody bought it. I went back to look for it and it was already gone, so somebody else bought it. No big thing. Well, all right. Everything else going off all right for you, James?
Yeah, it'll do.
It'll do. All right. Well, I hope they do better than it'll do. That was James, Whiskey Alpha 4, Zulu Hotel India. He's here in Mount Juliet, just east of the library, right in the kind of the heart of town. Who else east? Please come in.
India Bravo.
Hey, hold on one second. You just covered up somebody else with a much weaker signal there, Richard. Who else was that in there?
Kilo 4 Whiskey United.
Hey, how you doing, Bill? You were just a little slim pickings, but did you get a final count on the numbers today?
Yeah, we're in the mid fours. We're up about 8% ticket wise. Financials are still out, but a very good day.
Listen, all we care about is the numbers. We don't care if the club financials worked or didn't work. You know? I'm just kidding, of course. No, it's good that it was in because mid 400s, as I recall, would be up, like you said, 8. I don't know if it's 8%, but it's better than it was, I think, last year.
Yeah, roger that. No, we're up near that. 35, 40 people, something like that. You know, so doing real well. Continue to grow it. Got a lot of new ideas for next year, and it's going real well.
Yeah, I don't know who else you could get as a vendor because it doesn't seem quite big enough for any of the big vendors. You know, be nice if Gigapart showed up, but then I think the other guy would leave.
Yeah, well, we were looking at MFJ. They originally were scheduled in, but then they changed their schedules and they cut back a lot of their ham fest.
Yeah, well, there aren't any other MFJ vendors other than, well, see, what's his name? There is a vendor for MFJ, other than that, Hamworth.
Absolutely. In fact, he was the one that was organizing MFJ to be there. So I think commercial sales were down a little bit this year, perhaps with the exception of Debco, who they were up. But I can tell you, youth sales were fabulous.
The which sales?
Stuff on the floor. I mean, people were moving in and out of that with, youth stuff from the vendors.
Oh, okay. When you said, I wasn't sure if you said youth or you. I couldn't figure out what it meant. Then I realized it was the youth stuff.
Yeah, I'm about ready to lose my voice. That's I know you probably don't even recognize me, but I guess the funniest thing is I went there to the ham show and ended up buying a boat part.
And I saw you with that canoe electric boat motor. That was funny.
Oh, no. They tell me that is actually a coax winder.
That's what I told you, man. It's good. You put the adapter on it, and if you put the adapter on it, you can use it as a weed whacker.
That's right. Well, that's exactly what my wife Lisa told me. It looks like a weed whacker.
May I ask how much you paid for that electric trolling motor / weed whacker?
It was 60, and it came with the bracket, and I don't think it's been in the water.
Well, it looked pretty clean to me. That's a good deal.
Yeah, it really is. Now I have to get the canoe out and use it. I haven't used it in 3 years.
Well, that's because you didn't want to use the old elbow grease.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, you're supposed to do that. That's why you buy canoes, for the exercise. But if all you needed to do is steer the trolling motor, you're all set.
That's right. I couldn't resist that anyway. But that's the only damage I did today. But I want to thank everybody on the air that participated, the ones that attended. And a big thank you. Very successful, and we couldn't do it without all the folks that are out there in the Simplex world and all the other hands that are out there as well.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, it's one big. Well, again, it's, as you know, I try to promote not just our own group, but also other groups, particularly in Wilson County, but other events that are going around. So I think that's important to do for all the ham organizations to do that.
Absolutely, it's really a good venue. It's a good gathering. And truly, with the club, it's not about money. We reinvest all the money we make on previous Hamfest into the following year. So, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, no, well, that's kind of the rule. Obviously, as a not-for-profit, you can't individually in any way, get remuneration over and above what your expenses might have been.
Roger that. Hey, appreciate it. Again, thanks everyone. I'll let you get back to the net, Paul. Thanks for all you do too, my friend.
All right, very good, Bill. Great job on the ham quest. You did a great job. You and the group. I don't know what Donnie was doing. I think he thought he was in the Wilson County 500 over there with that cart. So I'll move on. That was Bill, KK4, Kilo 4 whiskey uniform, and he is in Possum Town. That was it, Possum Town. Very good. Good to have you in there, Bill. Part of the HamQuest operation. Who's next? South or east? Please come in.
Kilo India 4, Sierra India Bravo.
Oh, there you go. I skipped right over. How you doing, Richard? Did you buy anything?
Yeah, I bought some adapters for some antennas. That's about all I was able to garner out of the place today. I was looking for a programming cable and couldn't find it, but that's okay. I'll order it from Amazon at some point, I guess. But enjoyed it, and Bill, thank you if you're still listening for everything you do, and you put on a heck of a deal. And I was very, very happy to be a part of it. And all I got to say about that, y'all have a good night. 73 to everybody on the net. KI4SIB, back to you, Paul.
Yeah, they told me that it was warm in there because the air conditioning broke. Was that right?
A little bit, yeah. Well, it wasn't miserable, though.
No, it wasn't horrible. No, you're right. It's horrible for people like me that are retired and sit around the house all day.
Well, yeah, I kind of fall into that category too, but it wasn't too bad. We got through it.
Yeah, very good. Well, good to see you, and I'm glad you were there. That was who was it? That was Richard, Kilo India 4 Sierra India Bravo, and yeah, he was at the Hamfest as well. But he didn't spend. Just bought adapters and just a handful of stuff. Who else? East, please come in.
KG4MIZ.
Did you buy anything besides? Did you buy anything?
Yeah, I bought a little case for my handheld. Put on my belt, and hell, I kept dropping it. It wouldn't stick to my belt, so I got that and a couple other things. That a couple of Toroids, and heck, I don't remember. Well, Eddie gave me that stuff, and no, other than them two things, that's the only thing I got.
Yeah, cool. And by the way, thank you for that 9-to-1 balun, man. That's a big help on stuff. I'll see what I can swing using. Now you were feeding that with coax. You could feed it. Well, would it matter if you fed that with ladder line?
I don't know. I've never seen anybody that has done that. I've never seen a website that says ladder line. So you probably could, but I haven't seen it.
well, no big deal. I would probably be fitting with coax anyway. Well, cool. It was pretty busy there, don't you think?
Yeah, I thought so. I thought it was a pretty good event. I really did. It was even the people outside the event, the tailgaters. There seemed to be a lot of stuff over there and a lot of interesting stuff. And it was pretty cool. I like that vendor, that Devco back there. I got one of their little pamphlets. I'm gonna have to utilize them. If I can't find it on Amazon, I have to utilize them. But for the most part, yeah, Bill got that trolling motor. I was thinking to myself, hey, we'll take that apart and use it as a rotator, a hand center rotator. I had threatened to do my trolling motor that way. I got one myself, and I don't know. I was just playing around thinking about it. And, you could probably do that, but then you put it on high or something, and you start coptering up. Phil, Paul, did you buy anything? That's what I want to know.
Not a darn thing, really. I didn't see any. I did see a couple of things I liked, but it's one of those things I went over and I saw, and I already have way more laptops and PCs than anybody could ever need. Anyway, I got them anyway, and I saw a laptop over there for $79. I said, "Oh my gosh, that looks nice." And I said, "Man, that just looks too good to pass up." I go, "I don't need another laptop. What am I, stupid?" So I avoided that, and I avoided buying that microphone, and I don't know. There's lots of stuff I see I like, but I just, I'm having trouble. I've got a backlog of stuff I'm trying to install. Like that 80-meter loop I got to put up. I still got to do that. And so to buy more stuff would just be, make a mess of me.
Yeah, if I was, I don't want me to tell you what to do or anything, but I'd use that 80-meter loop to feed that toroid, that transformer, that 9-to-1 transformer. Use that, and you ought to be able to do something with it.
Oh, absolutely. I have high hopes for that. Well, Kevin, I appreciate what you did for me, and I appreciate you being there. It was great because our table always seems to attract all the Simplextons that are on the net, and even some that aren't, routinely, and some other hangers on, the lollygaggers and lurkers were hanging out in there too. So we had a busy table and nothing on it except for my little leather case,
Yeah, Roger. All right, well, I'll let you get on with it. I don't want to tie you up too much here. It's nice seeing you again, Paul, and the rest of the fellas out there. It was nice meeting a bunch of y'all guys. Man, I tell you, I need to get to them breakfast more often, Paul, so I can keep in contact. But you know me, I like sleeping. All right, let me get off this side. You take care out there, KG4, my thing.
Yeah, very good. You know very well that Richard will pick you up. I know he will. Push come to shove, he'll be over there. Well, I don't know if he'll drag you out of bed. That's not a good idea. But certainly would give you a ride. And I'd even come over if that's what it took. Well, very good. Good to have you there. Good to see you. And yeah, you're right. It's good to meet all the people face to face, which you don't see regularly. That's why I say I saw a lot of people that I've never met. I know their call, but then all of a sudden it messes up my brain because now I associate a different image than it's in my brain for who they are. And so now I have to reconnect all those names and calls. All right, very good. That was Kevin K. Kilo Go for Mike India Zulu. He's in just a little bit west of downtown Lebanon. Who else we got east? Please come in.
Kevin, we've already had that discussion. Anytime you want to go, just let me know. KI4SIB.
Oh, I know.
All righty. Yeah, Richard's the Uber, the only Uber in Lebanon. Hey, there's that bad self over there. We got to meet for the first time. How you doing, Earl?
I'm doing pretty well. Sure was long yesterday, but anyway, Mama said there'd be days like that. She just never said how many. I had a pretty good, pretty good show. I was running around there with the man on the mission, but I didn't happen to luck out on getting one of those there interface cables or programming cables. I looked at cables every which way but the right way because I came home empty-handed. But I got some other pieces of the rinky-dink power supply.
Well, I saw you raking through and pawing through a bunch of stuff on some of those tables, so I know you're actively looking for something.
Yeah, I met Richard, I think, on the way out, and I tipped my hat at Tom when he was up there underneath the umbrella. I said, "Alms for the poor." We was talking about something, and but anyway, that didn't work out too well. I thought I had a pretty good plan where I'd be easily noticed, but come to find out, everyone seemed to have there was more green hats up there than flowers. It was on my shirt.
Well, that worked because somebody said, "Hey, have you seen Earl?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, what's he wear? Where is he?" I go, "I don't know." I said, then I thought about it for a minute. He goes, "What color hat?" I go, "I don't remember, but I think he's the only guy in here with a Hawaiian shirt."
Well, I had to sneak away over there in the, I went over there at their ham world a couple times and spent time browsing around in there, and almost came out with more than what I should have. So I had to leave empty-handed. Well, I bought the last three 90-degree elbows they had, and there was someone else underneath the popcorn or whatever it's called over there. They had a whole bunch of them, so I went and bought the rest of them I needed from that person. So it all worked out good.
Well, very good. Yeah, I think the vendors those bigger vendors being there is great because they had a lot of stuff that you wouldn't necessarily find in the used tables, you know.
Yeah, I asked that dude if I could use that there willy whacker for a spaceship, so I could go and go to the moon or something. He looked at me kind of like, well, he just gave me that look like, you crazy?
Well, if he's not used to crazy at ham events, there's something wrong with him.
Yeah, well, we had a pretty good conversation too and everything, and I didn't get. I thought maybe I'd see some other people up there that I was going to, but I got my nose down in those there parts bins and looking here and looking there, so I just kind of, I don't know, I'll let it go at that. Good to meet you too, Paul, and whoever else I got to see or didn't see. Maybe you saw me and didn't know it, vice versa. KE4 DZ73.
Yeah, there you go. There was the Donna Ho of Ham World today. It was early. Was wearing a nice flowery Hawaiian shirt. She stood out. Well, I didn't stand like a sore thumb, but stood out from the rest of us who were in t-shirts and sloppy shirts. That was Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu, and he is in Noreen, just east of Cedars of Lebanon Park. Good to see you. Yeah, it was good to meet you too, Earl. I was finally glad to do that. And I'm sure I'll see you at future events as well. You got to get over to one of our breakfasts if you can swing it. Anyway, who else we got east? Hold on, I had a double in there, but I had Stan in there first with KM4H Hotel Quebec Echo. I had to get that straight because I wrote it down wrong. How you doing, Stan?
Doing well, Paul. How about you?
I'm doing well. Did you sell any of that 1964 equipment?
I sold quite a few things. Didn't sell the boat anchor, but that's okay. I think I'm going to keep
Yeah,
it.
I joke with that some of the stuff that's it's not a real popular item. It keeps showing up at Hamfest, and I think sometimes the equipment gets more mileage than a used car.
Yeah, that one boat anchor's pretty heavy though, weighing about 85 pounds. So didn't really want to drag it over there and drag it back, but it came back home.
Yeah, me and another fellow, we were looking at that, and I said, I can kind of guess the vintage on that, since it's using the term cycles, like mega cycles. And I said, that's really like a I don't know, 70, 72 term,
Yeah, that particular one was made in 62.
Ah, okay. So yeah, it was even farther back than I thought it was.
Yeah, it was a good pound fest though. I really think they're doing a good job at improving it every year. So I'm
I think it's going to grow, keep growing. Really appreciate all the effort they put into it.
Oh yeah, no, I do too. It's in fact, I was razzing. I use that term loosely. I was one of the fellows, Wayne, and I can't think of his call right now. But he's he's a little older than me. I'm 70, so I'm guessing he's mid to late 70s. But he used to work for the courthouse, and I think he's a retired state trooper, if I'm not mistaken. He's been active in the Nashville Club for years and years and years. And I said I've always expected Nashville to have, and I've not been here only but 7 years, but Nashville to have an event like this since they're right in Nashville. You know, they got the like the center of the activities, and you guys have a little ham fest, I know, a little tailgate. But he goes, yeah, it's gotten difficult though, because everything in Nashville is expensive to rent or use or go to the fair. He said they even had events years ago at the fairgrounds, in Nashville, but that got expensive, and I can understand the problems. But I think this one at Wilson is it's already taken off, and I don't know if they want to anybody else wants to compete with it. And I'm not saying Cedars does or doesn't, because they've been there for I don't know how many years, 30 years, I don't know, 40 years. I'm getting at is I just don't think that anybody else is going to want to jump in there and do another Hamfest.
No, the last one I remember going to, kind of on a semi-regular basis, was when they used to have the National Guard Armory down there. But that was long ago, and I don't know if they still have it or not.
Was that the Nashville Club?
I'm not sure who put that one on.
Okay, I wouldn't know. I've never. Well, I haven't been here that long, so I've never even. The only thing I've ever seen Nashville Club do is their tailgate there at Lock 2 Park.
Yeah, no problem. I won't hold you up back to that KM4HQE.
Yeah, very good, Stan. Stan had a table full of stuff, and looked like he was having a good time, at least most of the time. And that was Stan, Kilo Mike 4, Hotel Quebec Echo, and he is right there north of downtown Lebanon. Good to have you in there, Stan, and good to see you again. Who else? East, please come in.
KE4TWI.
Hey, you're sounding pretty good, but a little bit of scratchy in there. Did you buy anything? Yeah, Wes, I'm sorry.
I bought the quarter wave 6 meter for width for my truck. But the whole thing was worth coming to meet people and see everybody. That's why I was there.
Yep, that's right. It's that's half the fun really of a ham fest is meeting the people because ham really is a people to people kind of thing. In spite of the fact that sometimes you never, like on HF, you like never see the other person. You may see a picture of them, you may talk to them at length, but in the local ham stuff, which is here in Middle Tennessee, it's fun to meet the people, even if you only see them once a year. It's kind of nice it's like meeting an old friend that you talk to routinely.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm all for it. Okay. Pretty good. You're about S5, S6. My bad. KE4TWI.
Yeah, your signal strength, at least on this meter, is near zero, and your audio is readable. A little bit there's like scratching going on there, which is pretty strong, but it didn't interfere with your audio, and I could understand you perfectly. But you're doing great. Yeah, but you're in a bad spot, I know. But we're just going to have to elevate your whole property up about 50 or 100 feet. That'll help out a little bit. All right, very good. That was Wes, Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey India, and he's down there near Watertown. And who else we got to east? Okay, all I heard was a lot of noise. I heard a voice in there, but I couldn't make out what it was. And let's do that again. If somebody give me a relay, it'd be great.
It's Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff's last name is Scratchy, isn't it?
If he comes again, I can relay W9BOQ.
Yeah, go ahead, Jeff. Say that again. Did you copy that there, Dennis?
He said Kilo Delta 4 Bravo Whiskey Charlie. Is that it?
Yes, that's it. I know. I recognize the call. I knew who Jeff was. I was hoping because to get to say that it's really a relay, I have to have the relay sync. But no, Jeff, good to have you in there. You're really scratchy, so I don't know if just got bad conditions or you're working off your HT. Is that what he's you working off an HT, Jeff?
Yes.
All righty, well, that would explain it. And you're copying them pretty good there, Dennis?
Full quieting.
Ah, cool. Yeah, well, he's over there in Lebanon, and with an HT at his elevation, it doesn't do too good to me at all. I'm not sure why that is. He might just be, I don't know if he's in a bad spot because I've worked him on his HT before. Well, very good, Jeff. Glad you're in there. That was Kilo Delta 4 Bravo Whiskey Charlie on his HT, and got him on a relay, but it's not important. We don't make those distinctions, really. I'm just glad you're there, Jeff. And you did, so it looked like you were having a great time at the table out front there. So I won't ask you on the air. We'll talk later, but hope everything worked out for you guys at that table. Who else? East, please come in. All right, moving to the north. Who's north? Dennis?
W9BOQ.
All righty. Were you satisfied with the local ham fest? Your first, I guess, in this area?
I was. People kept on saying you're so much better looking in real life.
You talking to me or you?
Sorry. That was funny. I'm a funny guy. Yeah, it was fun. I wish I would have got there earlier. I didn't realize that it kind of broke up around 1 or 2 in the afternoon. So I got there about 10, and I told my wife I was going to spend about $200, and I spent a little extra because I found parts for my Hammond organ, which are they're not hard to find, but they're really expensive on the web, and I got them for really cheap. So I was happy to find all that.
What was that, tubes?
I found 2 tubes, which were old stock. That's why I bought them. And then I found these little, the way you hook a Hammond B3 organ to its Leslie speaker is it's a 6-pin Amphenol. And they're not approved by UL anymore. The newer organs are different, but they're not approved because AC and audio goes down the same cable, and that's not kosher anymore, I guess. But anyway, those I needed a whole bunch of those, so I bought like 9 or 10 of them.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's cool that you're able to, it's kind of like that's funny because electronics, I mean, everybody's been using the same tubes for years. It's not like there's a mysterious selection of ham tubes versus, audio tubes.
Well, my Leslie, the preamp tube is where a lot of the sound is good or bad. Depends on your tube. So it's a 12AU7. A lot of guitar amps use a 12AX7, which has 10 times more gain. But an organ sends out a really high balance, high gain, or not gain, a high level balance signal because it's not shielded. It just goes down like a 6-pin cable, a 6-wire cable. So they only need a little bit of gain at the preamp, so that's why they use a 12AU7.
Okay. I don't follow because I don't know. I mean, I kind of want to know what you're saying, but I'm not familiar with the whole thing. But it sounds like you know what you're talking about.
Well, anyway, it was fun meeting everybody today. I didn't see Earl, though. I don't remember a Hawaiian shirt. And I missed the drawing. I was so disappointed. I wanted to win something.
Well, it was funny. I said, "Oh my gosh!" The grand prize was coming at whatever it was at noon or whatever time it was, and I went and grabbed my ticket. And then I realized as they were making a drawing, I didn't cut the 1/2 ticket and throw it in the bowl, so it was a waste of time.
I didn't do that either. Well, there you go.
They should rip them off for you when you come in. That would make a lot more sense. But I don't mind. I don't. It's it all goes for a good cause, and that's for the ham fest. And the club there is not making any money on it, so it's not like anybody's benefiting directly.
It was good to see Robin and Kevin and who was with. I met Carl. I can't remember the guy's name that was with Carl. I met a bunch of people. I met Laura from the M-Tiers and Tom. But it was a really good time, and I got home in time to do some work around the house, so it was all good. So anyway, back to net, Paul, W9BOQ.
Yeah, very good. It was good to meet you finally, and good to put a name to and yeah, you're much better looking than you are in those little tiny images on YouTube. The ones that identify you.
What? 73.
All right. Who said what? Who said that? Kevin?
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those little tiny images of people that you see, and you know, next to their logo. You know.
Yeah, I know. It's their little thumbnails.
Yeah.
It's crazy how when you blow those up, you can't tell anything, but when they're small, you can actually see whose face it is.
Yeah, I know. It's funny. It's. I think they do that. Well, I don't know if they do it on purpose. They do it to save space, I guess. All right, very good. See, where was I? Oh yeah, appreciate it, Dennis. He has Whiskey 9 Bravo Oscar Quebec, first ham fest in this area, and he seemed to like it and seems to like us. At least we'll take his word for it. And he's got a great signal with his great system he's got over there that he put together. And so he's to be applauded. And that was Whiskey 9 Bravo Oscar Quebec. Dennis up in Castellian Springs. Everybody should be able to hear him. Anybody else north, please come in.
KB9 RKK. Go Victor, Quebec.
Hey, Brent, hold on. Yeah, Frank beats to it. How you doing? Frank, you guys, I say you guys, because you were part of putting that together, weren't you, this year?
Yeah, I was, helping out today. I was taking all the money. Well, not the money, giving out the green stickers.
Yeah, I gotcha. No, it's like I said, I think it's getting better every year, and I think it's going to grow as the area grows.
Oh, absolutely. No, it was very good. Like Bill said, about 30-something more people than last year is what it appears to be.
Yeah, no, that's great. I don't know what would make that change dramatically, but like I said, having vendors keep showing up means that there's something in it for them, because obviously they wouldn't be there if there wasn't business, you know.
Oh, absolutely. The other observation is the crowd stayed around longer compared to the last couple of years, and certainly last year, because I actually worked it last year, and they were cleaning up. But this year they hung around. There was more people for the noon prize drawing than there was before.
Yeah, it looked like it to me too. I mean, last year it seemed like there was maybe 20 people hanging around. This year there was probably 3 times that. I mean.
Oh yeah, easily. So I'm gonna take a crack at the battery. It's either for a garage door opener or a car remote, is what I'm thinking.
No, I wish it was. I'm beating myself to death over that stinking. I can't. And I ordered. I said, yeah, I need that. And I just, when I placed the order after it sat in the cart for a few days or a week or something, I ordered it, and then I go, what the heck is that for? Maybe I put it in my cart by accident. I can't think of anything I have, that takes that size of a battery. And that battery, like I said, is about the diameter of a AAA, and it's about maybe 2/3 the size, maybe about that. And I even the old cameras I have, and it doesn't fit in those either. And I was like, what the heck? I guess I'm just going crazy. I can't imagine what I'd use a 12-volt little tiny battery for.
Well, because when you said that, I said, I have one of those, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's in my little keychain genie garage door opener.
Yeah, no, I can see that. It may be something that for one of my wife's, because she's got some little toys and stuff that she had for the dogs and stuff. It might be one of those that I'm thinking of. I don't know. Well, I'll figure it out. One way or the other. Either that, or I got 2 batteries in search of an amp, in search of a device.
If you wouldn't have them if you actually needed them, then.
Oh no, well, I've got a number of watches, and my wife's got some watches, and I have some other. And I've got a nice little selection of button batteries of different sizes for watches and timers and you name it. All these little tiny things. And I've got, I don't know, I probably got 6 or 8 different kinds I have in stock here, and now I've got another one. I don't know what's going in, but I got it.
Should have brought them and sold them at the table today.
Oh no, it just came in today. It came in the mail today, and I said, "Oh yeah, that came in. What's it for?" It's just that I don't feel too stupid.
Hey, we all do that. Like, oh, I forgot I ordered these, or what the. But see, in this case, you were trying to remember what you ordered it for. Now, maybe you ordered the wrong thing. Maybe.
Anything's possible. I've got an old camera, and it takes a similar battery, but it's 6-volt. And it needs it because they no longer make the battery for that camera. There's a couple guys on eBay that sell adapters for that battery compartment so that it will take one of those something battery. I forget which battery it is, but it's at 6-volt, and because they don't make that battery anymore. So maybe that was, I don't know. It can't be that idea because I knew it was 6-volt, not 12. So I don't know what the heck at 12. I'll figure it out. All right, Frank. That was Frank. Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo, and he is up in Northwest Wilson. Great signal. You guys did a great job again. Brent, you're next.
All right, RBQs, guys. I think this thing went wonderful. Like I said, it looked like it was more busy than last year. It was definitely worth me taking a shift off to come to it. So, yeah, I was overjoyed. I bought a few things and went home, took a nap after 24 hours being awake, and totally enjoyed myself.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's always good just to get out and mingle with, mingle with the low people. You know what I'm saying? You got to get down there and get down with the people at the bottom.
Well, I hate to say this, but I guarantee you about everybody there are some pretty high functioners.
Oh no, I'm just joking. The fact is that it'll surprise you, especially in the world of technical stuff, and it's especially highly technical stuff. There's people who, let's put it this way: it's almost like you got a bunch of mad scientists running around. You meet people that you go, well, their hair's not cut and they're kind of unkempt or whatever, and you realize they're a high-level programmer.
Yeah, well, I was really happy to see there was such a turnout from Williamson County, because that's where I really originated, with this ham radio stuff in the Middle Tennessee with. So I saw a lot of old friends, and, Ingrid was there, and Laura was there, and, a bunch of people from Williamson County was there. Like I said, I think overall, this thing is going to grow year after year, and eventually we'll be inside the big building.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's where it's headed. I don't know if it's going to be right away, but you're right. Hey, which one was Laura? I guess I probably saw her, but what's she look like?
Laura was a taller girl. She was sitting there talking to me there. We were talking weather stuff.
Is that the one that was dark hair?
Well, she's got dark hair and the gray freaks like the rest of us.
Okay, I'm not sure which one that was. I've never met her, and I don't get on that net, so I just would have been interested to at least meet her, and rattle their chains over there about why they don't do their check-ins on Simplex.
Yeah, Laura, actually, Williamson County, they're starting to do a Simplex thing about every third week. They tried it 2 weeks ago. It wasn't successful. That was another thing we were talking about, because she's going to start trying to get on our net. She calls the Monday night net for Williamson County.
Yeah, I know of her. I've never talked to her, and I've never checked into that net, just because it's not. I don't know. It's not that I can't or don't want to. It's just not. I don't know. I don't live over there. That's the reason I don't check in over there. But I really feel. In fact, I was talking with Kathy Goodrich about that just briefly today, and I said, they got a big crowd, great organization, good people. In fact, great people, quite honestly. And they got some of the best groups of technical and administrative people on the planet, I think. Yet, I said, I hope, and I don't know the answer to this. I'm hoping they have the idea that, yeah, the repeaters coordinated and connected are great, but they need an alternative, because if you have a big problem, the repeater is going to get tied up with really important traffic, and you'll need other avenues to communicate between people. That's going to be hard to do if the repeaters are tied up. So you need alternative Simplex frequencies and people who can talk Simplex.
Well, the good thing about them, I've been with Williamson County. I've belonged to WeCare since, I guess I've been there probably almost 10 years. And I don't get to go anymore now that my weekends are messed up. But I'll tell you right now, they're a great bunch of folks. Of course, you got Bill Jurgensen, who's pretty much written the book for Tennessee's interoperability for the state as far as communications and stuff. And they're like a wealth. I mean, like I said, that whole bunch is like a wealth of good people to deal with.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, any one of their key people over there is, could carry the load. You know what I'm saying? They're just a lot of really bright people.
Well, like I said, I got into it. One of my old partners from the EMS got me involved with them. Oh, like I said, it was about 10 years ago. We used to go to do the chew and chat and stuff. And like I said, Jack and that bunch, they are just such fantastic folks. And they're interested in the Simplex, because that was one of the big things that Laura and I were talking about as far as weather and things like that. Well, you know what? These repeaters go down just like the cell phone towers.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I'm not faulting them. I'm just saying that I don't know if they have alternative, frequencies to use that are published for everybody who's in the group. And the problem with, as you know, and as I know, and we know and do a lot of Simplexes, if you're not prepared to go simplex, you're going to get shocked if you're trying to talk across town and all you've got is a quarter wave ground plane in the attic.
That's absolutely right, and that's exactly. I wish I should have thought about it and hollered at you, because that was exactly what we were talking about as far as trying to get together. And Laura's tried to do it before, doing a map where we could find people across the Middle Tennessee area that could do relays.
Oh, absolutely, and well, I think it's critical, and that's one of the things is and you've recognized here, is we have, because of the net. It's amazing to me. We began with, there was already some guys with great systems and great. I was not one of them. A great system and great antennas, and because of the net, though, it prompted everyone to kind of come up to speed. And now initially there was, I bought that bigger antenna and put it up higher. Now there was others that had reasonably good antennas. They didn't really need to do anything, but they even a couple of them made adjustments and threw out the less one, like the 510, I think it is, the Diamond 510. They sold that and they got an X700 and got it up, and then now I think there's either 7 or 8 X700s up in the air on this net. So it's like, wow, it's astounding to me that people would do that.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Paul, you guys have got it going on here in Mount Juliet, because we are. When I was talking to Laura about it, she's like, "It sounds like you guys have really got it together." And it's like, I said, "Yeah, well, Paul, you can thank him for doing a lot of this, because in the last 4 or 5 years, we have gained quite a bit of interest in it. It's like I said to her, it's radio the way it should have been."
Oh yeah, no, I'm not faulting them, because I'm not joking. To me, they've got it all in terms of training and in terms of knowledge, in terms of repeaters, in terms of expertise. And I was just wondering, and that's what my wonder was. And you tell me they're doing simplex, so that's great. I just don't know if they have a plan, a firm plan for people, because again, if people are used to just working repeaters, they never seem to come up to speed to work better simplex. And that's the problem with repeaters. It makes, like I said, it makes for lazy hands and cheap hands.
Well, yeah, and you're exactly right, and that's what she's recognized too. And like I said, they've just recognized it over the last year or so, and that's like I said, this has just been the last few months that they've started trying to do something. Like I said, word got around about Mount Juliet bunch, and they're starting to gain interest in it now too.
Oh no, I'm thrilled. I mean, that's what I like to hear, really, and that's. Again, that was not my goal when I got this started. I wasn't trying to change the culture in ham radio in Middle Tennessee or anywhere for that matter. As I was telling my wife today, I said, my real goal here was I wanted somebody to talk to here locally. I wanted a local psychiatric institute that we could talk and have fun.
No, you've done a great job, and they've recognized that too. She was saying it sounds like he's done a good job, and I said, oh yeah, this is. I had almost, until I got back involved in this, I'd almost lost interest in him.
Oh yeah, no, I understand, and that's kind of where many of us are or have been. Like I said, if you got nobody to talk to, you think, well, why do I exactly do this? Why? It just doesn't have any real purpose. Not purpose. It's just not. It's not as much fun. I'll just say that it's not as much fun, and it's really interesting to me because sociologically, I love that term. When you're able to gather up a bunch of people with common interests. I mean, for instance, I know I don't know personally, but I'm pretty sure there's people that you had not met prior to this net that you met since, that you've become familiar with and talked to, and now you consider them at least casual acquaintances or friends.
Oh, absolutely. This has been one of the funnest things that got me reinterested in things. There's a bunch over on the plateau. They're up there in Cumberland County and Overton County, and they're gaining a real interest in the simplex because you're up the sticks over there. They've got limited amounts of repeaters.
Well, yeah, and Steve up there in K4WK, K4WKU, he started a Simplex Net within the last couple of months, and he's already hitting the 20s with people up there in around north of Bowling Green.
Yeah, excuse me, I just swallowed a butterfly. Yeah, this thing I really can see if we keep making contacts with people and reaching out, and they're
No, I'm just thrilled. I just really think that we, and it's really a collective we, because I can't hold a net by myself. You know, it's I just am kind of the agent here for the. I'm the center of this little spoke. You know, this big wagon wheel with all the people on the outside looking into me. So but it's anyway, it's worked out very well, I think, for everyone, because it really made, to me, it makes ham radio a lot more fun when there's somebody to talk to, because otherwise, why be in it? You know, we're not sitting around just diddling with our radios, you know, talking to nobody.
Oh no, this net rate's right up there. Like I said, out of the ones that I enjoy checking into, I love it. I mean, I got out of bed to talk to this one tonight since I was home on a Saturday night for a change.
I got you. Well, very good. I appreciate the kind comments. It's like I told my wife, I said, while this isn't work, it's, I don't know what to call it. I enjoy doing it, so it's not work. But it's not like it isn't work, because I do have to take the time out during the night, you know, to do this. But it's she knows that I do it because it's fun and it's good for the community, and I think it's good for everybody who participates. It's probably good for those who are just listening. Any scanner listeners out there, I hope they're entertained by our little conversation. So I think they are. Anyway, I got to run. Let me run on Brent. That was Kilo Echo 4 Romeo Bravo Quebec. He's liking the net, I think. And Brent is in also Northwest Wilson. Who else we got north? Anybody else left north?
WB0NOL.
Hey, saw you there today, Mark. How you doing?
Doing good. I think Danny was in there too.
Danny, is it whiskey? Which Danny? Whiskey Echo 4 Echo? Which other Danny?
Oh, maybe you're not hearing him.
I'm not hearing anything besides you.
Yeah. 4E. That was a W4E. I'm not WE4E. I'm not sure. Remember what it was.
Yeah, that's Whiskey Echo 4 Echo. Yes. Danny, are you out there? Well, if you are, I can't hear a single thing. Man, that is weak, unless he's mobile or something.
He said he is, but his radio is something, and I can hardly hear him here.
I did hear him. He says, I need a brand new radio and a better antenna. All righty. Well, we'll take a check-in from through a relay there, Dennis, and through Mark as well. So how you doing, Mark?
Doing good, Paul. And Danny, you're full quieting over here, so I don't know what the problem is. I think you're right across the lake from me, though. Anyway, Paul, it's good to see you today. Had a good time at Hamfest. Got to see a bunch of folks that I only get to see once or twice a year, maybe. So that's always fun. That's the reason I go. I sure don't go so I can sell stuff. I found that out for the second time in a year.
Well, it's like saying, you know, it's when you're even on eBay, you know, it's like eBay or on any place you sell something. It doesn't mean it's not going to sell. It just means the right buyer hasn't come along.
Oh yeah, I understand that. And you know, I mostly am I just don't want to throw stuff away. So I'd rather find it a home. And I did that today with a bunch of stuff, so that's always good. Anyway, it was a good Hamfest. I thought it was very well run, and everything about it was nice and smooth, and weather cooperated. It was just good to see a bunch of folks there.
Oh, I agree. I think it was great. It kind of, I don't want to say it wears on me, but it's like a constant stimulation of having a new person come up and say, hey, good to, you know, I finally get to meet you, or, you know, somebody on the air, somebody wants to be on the air, or somebody, it just cracks me up how many people actually express an interest, you know, that I've never even met before. So it's kind of neat.
Yeah, it is. And I've been around Nashville for like 40 years almost. It is 40 years. And a lot of the guys that were more active when I was first here, I get to see still there. So that's always fun to talk to them and find out what's going on in their lives and see pictures of their grandkids.
Yeah, it is good. Like I said, it's really a people thing. It's not a hardware thing, even though we tend to make it that way. But no, it's all about people. Well, very good. Good to have you in there, Mark, and I appreciate the relay on Danny, who obviously can't, unless he can make it in better, he can call me later if he wants to. But good to have you in there, Mark. That's Mark, Whiskey Bravo 0 November Oscar, and he's over in Hermitage. Who else is, where was I? North. West, please come down.
KN4 TJF.
5 TAW.
Hold on, TAW. I had KN4TJF. Rick, who's appreciate you hanging in there, and also appreciate TAW hanging in there. But yeah, go ahead, Rick.
Hey man, I had a great time today. It's a fest, and that was my first time, so it was really a lot of fun, man. I enjoyed it. Glad to see everybody and meet some new folks, and yeah, it was a hoot, man. I loved it.
Yeah, you know, I always thought it would be a great idea if they'd have, if anybody's listening from the club. I think we even talked about it. It'd be great if we could just have like a live band up there to, you know, to intervene in between announcements and stuff.
I have to agree. Yeah, man. Listen, I made it through my first one. Didn't spend. No, that's all right. There's always going to be another.
All right, I just had somebody from the peanut gallery tell me no. I think that was Kevin.
I agree.
Well, how about if we hired you there, Dennis, and you can get up there and play the organ for us?
I'll tell jokes.
Okay. All right, Rick. You got a good signal. You're coming in good audio tonight, and it was good to see you and Michael there. And I think Michael's. Does he go to bed already?
Probably asleep. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's all right. We didn't want to talk to him anyway.
Well, he may surprise you.
Yeah, I know. Well, he's probably still trying to figure out that coax problem.
Maybe.
All right, well, very good, Rick. Good to have you in there. And that's Rick. He's over in Ashland City, out there in the far west. Well, pretty far for everybody else. But that's Kilo November 4 Tango Juliet Foxtrot, and like I said, that's Rick in Ashland City. So you were voting no there. Was that Kevin?
Right, K4 we don't need no stinking band.
Well, no matter which one you put in, somebody complained about it.
The only band we need is either 6 meters or UHF or maybe 220.
You could bring in some of that piped in music there. How about that?
No.
Well, just because you're a vendor doesn't mean you get to vote. I think it's a club thing.
Oh man, I remember several years ago I got really irritated. They put my table underneath the one side of the pavilion where the PA speakers are. And I think it was the first year of HamQuest. And time again, I'm trying to talk with a customer or a potential customer, and I can't carry on a conversation across the table. So I went up to the guy with a microphone in his hands when I had an opportunity, and I asked him point blank, "Are they paying you by the word?"
I do remember that. Quite honestly, I do remember that.
Oh, I was so irritated.
Well, there was a lot of chatter on that PA system then.
That's right. So, no, we don't need a freaking band. The QSO radio show is enough.
Yeah, I understand. No big deal. And now you voiced. Okay, that was the editorial speaker at the moment there. Thanks, Robin. All righty. Who is in there? TAW, is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
One more time on the call and the name, please.
N5 TAW. Name's David.
Hey, there you go, David. I was sorry about that. Like I said, I get my head wrapped around too many calls and names, especially on a day like today at the ham thing. Were you there today? Yeah.
Yeah, I was there. I was selling up there by the stage. I spoke to you for a minute, and then a customer walked up, so I had to go.
No, I remember. I was trying to get my brain in order here on who was there. Again, it's hard for me. I actually thought, and I didn't do it, I wanted to make a sign-in sheet for everybody that showed up, you know, at the table and any other, but, you know, anybody I talked to. It would make a lot more sense. Or just, I do have a, what do you call it, like a GoPro. I can just wear it on my chest, and that way I can record everybody I talk to.
Yeah, that's right. No, it was good to meet you, and I enjoyed being there. It was a bigger turnout than what I was anticipating. I estimated around between 400 and 500. Not that I'm an expert guesser, but that's just kind of what it looked like. I used to help a friend of mine. He was a gigaparts reseller, and I'd go to Hamfest, usually small ones, and that's usually about what they had, maybe about 300 or 400 or something. So I kind of took a guess at that, but yeah, I enjoyed being there. I sold some stuff, and that's good.
Yep. No, it is good. I like I said, I had the same impression. Basically, I'd been to the other and involved early on in the first Hamfest there when I was taking part in that club, and I had some other home issues. I couldn't go to the club meetings, so I just dropped it. But I'm glad that it's going better every year, because it's really, well, it's one of those same thing like we do in a smaller way, but that kind of ties the community together and put that many people in a place that covers, I mean, it does cover anybody who shows up, and as we know, we get people from, as far west as Ashland City, and Sumner County, and Rutherford County, Williamson County, Davidson County, and Wilson County. I'm sure Smith County was there too.
Yeah, I think it probably covered the area pretty good. I've always been kind of amazed somewhat that Nashville doesn't have one. And somebody mentioned it earlier about the cost of just finding a location. I got to agree. That's what you run into in the big cities is the cost, especially in Nashville, the way it's going. Everything's just so expensive. So having it more in the outlying areas is probably the best way to go. And if you can keep the politics out of the Hamfest committees, that'll help too, because I've seen that kind of do some damage too. So, but yeah, it kind of got me a little more re-energized back into ham radio being there today.
Ah, very good. Glad to hear that. Well, very good. That was David, and you're still in Madison, correct? That's where your location is.
Yep, still in Madison. Before I go, just one comment on the vendors, since I've kind of worked, for a big vendor, and at Hamfest, that small, we had what was that, Ham World there. He had 1007 and Debco's there. That's a good mix, because neither one of them are kind of competing with each other, so it works out good. But if you start try to get in two vendors like Ham World, it's not going to turn out well. I can just tell you. If it was a 20,000 plus attendance like Huntsville, it works because you got the people there to support that. But at the 400 and 500 level, one big vendor is about all you can handle, because what you'll do is you'll end up splitting the money between the two vendors, and they're not going to make the money they need to make to be there, and just it's not going to turn out well for them, and they won't be back, because I've seen that. And Hamfest organizers have a tendency of wanting to, get more vendors in, more opportunity, but it's not good for the vendors. It draws people in, but it splits the money. So not a good idea, just for future reference. Unless the numbers get up to 1,000 or something like that, then it might be a different story.
Oh no, I got you. I was the only one that I would think would be a night, and apparently Wireman was going to be there, and it was either conflicting the schedule or whatever it was that I heard about. I wasn't part of the planning at all, but that would be a nice addition, the Wireman. And I can't, like I said, you can't have two, comprehensive vendors, like Ham World and Gigaparts there at the same time. It just wouldn't fly.
Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, if you could get Wireman in there, maybe a sign man, people like that, where it's a good diverse background there. Yeah, that'll work real good.
Yep, I agree. That'd be great. I know that they had worked on that, but it kind of fell through for, like I said, due to conflicts, I believe. So yeah, they're working on it. I know they're wanting to do better every year, and in fact, they were asking for commentary. So if you have any comments, look up KK for WU and send him an email. It's Kilo 4 Whiskey Uniform, and he'll be happy to take any positive criticism, I guess, would be even negative criticism if they can improve something that went bad. So I don't know of anything that went badly. I guess the food should be free, and the place should be air conditioned, and they should have provided those mats for vendors so their feet don't get tired, and maybe a vibrator chair would be helpful. But other than that, it was fine.
Yeah, that all sounds great.
Yeah, I know. Also, I want to be paid to go. I don't want to have to be charged. I want to be paid to go.
Yeah, that helped too.
All right. Well, very good. That was David, N5, November 5 Tango Alpha Whiskeys in Madison. He was one of the vendors today, so I'm going to keep on hearing positive comments. So I think things did go pretty well. And again, I'm not taking any credit for it other than promoting it. And the guys over there at the Wilson Club did a fine job again this year. Who else we got? Wherever I was, West, please come in.
KM4YRF Radio.
Okay, we got a couple in there, but I heard Michael there in there first. Michael, did you get your antenna squared away?
No, I haven't done anything, Paul.
You're on that antenna now?
Yes.
Well, it's working pretty good.
Yeah, I see why I mess with it.
Well, it's doing 40 over to me, so I don't know why you'd mess with it, really.
Yeah, I'm watching it on the meter as we speak. Had a great time today. Sorry I missed Kevin, and sorry I missed Earl, but that's just the way it was.
Yeah, well, you can only take so much excitement in one day.
Yeah, when you get our age, you got to watch that stuff.
What's his our age? I'm older than you. All right, Michael. Yeah, it was good seeing you and Rick there. Like I said, it's. I actually think that there's a lot of guys that would show up anyway, but when you have a number of people in a group like ours where we promote it, and we get together, and it's just fun to meet up with the same people. It's an additive thing. If everybody promoted it as we did, I imagine there'd be 500 or 600. If all the other, I don't know how well they do in promoting it. I really don't know, but I know we do. Anyway, good to have you in there, Michael. KM4. Did you buy anything? You didn't tell me.
Yeah, I bought a bunch of pieces, parts. I bought me a 200 or 300 watt dummy load, and that's about it.
All right. I told you not to call me a dummy load.
I almost bought a boat anchor too, but didn't have enough cash.
Oh yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I think I do. Anyway, yeah, you're right. I realize I don't need another radio right now. I'd like to have one. I'd get a brand new one, but we'll see. All right, Michael, good to have you in there. It's Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. Boy, we're running along today. And he's in Belshire. Who else we got? Who else was in there right on top or underneath Michael?
KM4.
Hold on a second. I heard it sounded either younger voice or I don't know who that was. KN4, Kilo November 4. Who's that?
KN4 BKW.
All righty. It's a new call to me. What's your name and location, please? KN4 BKW. Say again. I'm sorry. One more time.
Ryan. Brentwood.
Ryan in Brentwood. So you, how long you been ham?
Since June 20th this year.
Oh, fantastic. And how old are you? You sound like you're, let me guess. Hold on. I want to say 14.
Lower at 10, and I met you today with my dad's brother.
Ah, very good. Yeah, I know you sound like you're doing pretty good for 10 years old. Did you find the test difficult?
No.
Then you were prepared to study well. Do you do well in science and math, do you, at school?
Very well.
Excellent. Well, keep it up. Don't give up on it because, we just need more science and math people everywhere.
I will, and I'll be an extra next time with my dad and brother.
Ah, very good. And you said you're in Brentwood, aren't you? Hold on, I just ran out of pencil in my pencil there. My lead ran out there. All right, Ryan, forgive me for not remembering. Which one is your dad? What's his called? You remember?
Well, them two are coming up right after me. But anyways, my dad's call sign is KN4BKY.
BKY, Bravo, Kilo Yankee, you said?
Victor Kilo X-ray.
Okay, there we go. Victor Kilo X-ray. Well, very good. He's coming on next, though, right? He's coming on next, though, right?
Yes, he is.
All right, well, Ryan, I appreciate you checking in, and fantastic on getting your license at 10 years old. I wished I would have done that. I didn't. I waited until I was about, I'm not going to tell you. It was like several decades after that. Well, very good. Appreciate you being there, Ryan. And that's Brian, Kilo November 4, Bravo, Kilo Whiskey. And that, it is a she, right?
Negative, it is R, Ryan, and BKW.
Yeah, I think I said BKW. Bravo. B is in boy, Kilo Whiskey, right?
B in Victor.
Ah, sorry. Bravo Victor Whiskey, correct? Bravo Whiskey. Oh, I'm sorry. Bravo Whiskey. Man, I can't get my words out straight. Bravo Victor Whiskey, correct?
Negative. That is a Victor Kilo whiskey.
Now you messed me up. I ran out of room here. K and for one more time. Sorry, I got it all messed up here. Kilo November for one more time.
Victor Kilo whiskey. Very kind Wisconsinite.
Ah, very good. Now I got it right. Kilo November for Victor Kilo Whiskey. It's almost a tongue twister to me for some reason. You must be the dad.
Roger that. That's KN4VKX.
Yeah, very good. I don't think you've checked in before either, have you?
I did on the 500th anniversary night, and my boys and I, we had the pleasure of meeting you in person today. Little skinny kid with the glasses, and my stocky son next to me is 10 and 11 years old.
Yes, I do remember, and that's why I said I apologize if you heard me at the front end. I said I met enough people today that I got my brain was full of calls and people's faces and names, and I knew I knew at the front end I wasn't going to remember all of them. But yeah, it was good to meet everybody. Really, it's always great to meet people who are on the air. And your first name, please.
My first name is Andrew, and just want to give a plug to K40TV, who is generously helping us out as we're getting started here. Last time I checked in on the 500 tonight, I tried down the HT and got you in scratchy, but I'm sure doing a lot better tonight on a borrowed Yaesu 2500.
Yeah, it's working real well. And you are in Brentwood. Are you in any of that deed restricted area?
I do have an HOA, but I think they're a little looser than others.
Okay, so you have an antenna somewhere outside then.
Well, not tonight. Right now it's inside the house. Again, just our first initial setup, just trying to get us on the air to reach out, especially to you more so, compared to what we had.
Okay, no, very good. And that's why I think that that's the neat thing. The end result of people interested in Simplex is that they tend to move forward with bigger, better, so that they can communicate, not just with me, but they can, we become kind of a focal point, at least initially. But it's like somebody else told me, and I don't do a lot of scanning on the frequencies, but people who do, they go, man, there's quite a few people talking Simplex on other frequencies. And I said, hey, I'm excited about that. I think we contribute to it, and I'm glad there's people out there who want to do that.
Oh, absolutely. And as I said that with you, reaching out to you, yes, the Simplex portion is step one for us, because now, as we just passed our general as well, want to step towards the HF component and learning and growing and having fun and meeting more people like what we did today, but on the radio as well.
Oh, no, absolutely. It's just it's kind of a neat, it's the only hobby I can think of, and maybe there's others, but I don't know of any others, that you have to, in order to have it any fun at all, because the radio, it's not ham radio unless you're communicating in some way, whether it's an audio, whether it's in a digital mode. When I say digital, like the HF digital modes, or in the other digitized FM frequencies, that you're communicating in some way. And you can't do that unless you've got everything set up properly, and you know what you're doing, and you know what your goals are. But it's communicating with others, and it's the only hobby. It's like if you're a model train builder, yeah, you might have a friend or two in the area that you got to call on the phone and talk to them about it, or any other of the hobbies, which there are lots of them. Whether it's photography, etc. But this is one, you're communicating on a regular basis with the same people, and even discussing things outside of ham radio to resolve other issues, whether electrical, mechanical, whatever, lawn issues for that matter.
And I'm in a very blessed situation, because I have these two boys that we get to talk ham, and then in Williamson County, got a great group of knowledge and experience, and they've been absolutely wonderful and friendly with welcoming us in and helping us go forward here.
Well, if they get any better in Williamson County, the government's going to set in and break them up for being a monopoly.
Roger that. Have one more that needs to check in for the first time with you. If you don't mind waiting 1 second, I'm going to pass the mic to him.
Very good. I shall do that. I'll wait with bated breath here.
KN for VKY.
Aha, we got Victor Kilo Yankee on this one. So they were kind of sequential. And what's your first name?
Blake.
Very good, Blake. Yeah, I actually met a guy today I had not met before, ever. And so I would say, what is, I asked him what the call was. And his call was only one letter different from my original call 15 years ago. So we both got our calls the same week of the same year, and but in different states. So it was kind of funny that we both had, his was one letter off from mine at the end. Instead of mine was X at the end and his was S at the end. Kind of fun.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it is. It's neat. It's just not that it makes much difference. I mean, they're just numbers and letters, but hams tend to identify themselves very closely for some reason. Well, not for some reason. Our call is our identification, and it isn't even necessary. There's people, I don't even realize what their last name is until I look in the web and I say, oh, that's their last name, because I think of them as, their name, their first name, and their call, and that's enough for me. How old are you, Blake?
11.
Oh wow! So you're getting ancient. You got Ryan beat by a whole year.
Yeah, I'm the big brother.
Well, that gives you extra responsibilities in the family, you know that.
Yes, sir.
And you've got to be a good mentor, and you've got to be a good image for your siblings. You only have one? Is there more than one?
I have one more older brother and 2 older sisters.
See, that can be a problem. I was unfortunate in my life. I say unfortunate. I was the oldest, and my mother didn't have another baby until 17 and a half years later. So my younger brother is 17 and a half years younger than me. And I left home when he was 2.5 years old, not even 2 years old. So we didn't really get to know each other until he became an adult. All right, well, Blake, good to have you in there, and I'm glad you took the test in June as well.
Yes, sir. Same day.
Awesome. Well, very good. Now, you all just got the technician at this point. I heard your dad say something about general test.
Yes, we took our general test 7 days ago.
Awesome. So you did get the results of that already?
We haven't checked it yet, but we passed.
Awesome. That's great. That's terrific. That really is good. So extra is the next step then for you. I wish you luck, and I assume you're going to go for the extra.
Yes, we're going to go for that next summer and hopefully knock it out.
Oh, I think you will. Yeah, it just takes extra. It takes, especially at your age, I think, unless you might be smarter than me, but it takes a little bit of work to get through the ideas and the concepts of what what's on the extra test. It isn't an easy test. I found it, like in your case, I'm sure you didn't find it easy, but it was, the technician and the general are relatively simple compared to the extra test. At least I think it is. I haven't taken it in 15 years. So. Well, very good. Good to have you and Blake and Andrew and Ryan in there. Appreciate you being there. And congratulations on passing that general test. It's good to hear, especially the young age. Took me only until, like I said, in my 50s to get all 3 of those. So, all righty. Appreciate you guys being there. And that was Kilo November for Victor Kilo Yankee. And prior to that, it was Kilo November for Victor Kilo X-Ray. And prior to that, we had Ryan Kilo November for Victor Kilo Whiskey. So it's cool that we had 3 sequential WX1. Yeah. Yep. All we need now is somebody else with a Z on the end of that one for the suffix. So, all right. Who else we got? West, please come in.
KG4CXE.
Hey, Chris. I think we're gonna have to give up on that. It's already 9:30. Can you believe that? How you doing, Chris?
Pretty good. How about you?
Well, I feel like we've covered a lot of territory with 28 check-ins, and it's been a good night.
Yeah, sure enough. It sounds like you've had a busy day too.
Pretty much. The Hamfest is fun. It's it'd be a lot more fun if I had unlimited funds.
Yeah, I wanted to make it out, man. I got caught up with a friend that was in from Kansas, and he's heading out tomorrow, so kind of spent the day with him. But I'm gonna definitely have to catch you at the breakfast sometime. I was talking to Michael on the webs there, and he was talking about that X700, and
if I had 24 feet of location for that thing to live, I would definitely get one.
Oh, believe me, everyone who's gotten one. In fact, I was not. I think I was the first. I mean, there have been others. I'm sure there's somebody else who has one of those in the area. I'm just not aware of it. But I got it because I said, "Oh man, this is being net control. I got to have the best, just to keep up the standards for myself." And I could not believe I should have bought that 10 years ago. I mean, it irritates me that I was that cheap. And it's not that well, you know, you may have heard me tell that story. When you go through these iterations of antennas, I had a J-pole and that didn't work out like I wanted to. Then I put up a little beam and that didn't work out the way I wanted to. And then I put up a relatively inexpensive vertical and that was okay. And then I said, okay, I guess I'll just go ahead and buy the other good one. And I did. And I should have done that first. Which I shouldn't have wasted all that time and money on the other 3 installations.
Yeah, I do that a lot with hobbies too. So it makes sense. Sometimes you just got to learn the hard way, right?
Yeah, well, you know what they say, experience is the best teacher, but it's also the most expensive.
Yeah, it goes hand in hand. Yeah, so I was looking at the 300, it's 10 feet. But yeah, talking about Simplex and wanting to get your station better, I'm just wondering if that would actually get my ears better. I think that's a big piece of what I've got an issue with. Like, I don't hear very well over here. Michael's over there just, you know, he's like, I turn the radio up and don't turn the YouTube volume on. I'm like, I'm the opposite. I use YouTube to hear because Paul's, you know, got that killer receive. So, but that's cool, man. I'm glad you guys had fun today. And I was actually thinking about possibly a 2-meter all mode if I would have went. That would have been probably the only thing I was looking for to do some single sideband. But I know you've been on it a while and it's going on long tonight. So 73's man, catch you later. KG4 CXC.
Yeah, very good. That was Chris, Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo, and he is in Donaldson. It's Donaldson, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, my memory's not completely obliterated. All righty, we get a magnet too close to my head. My hard drive goes wacky on me. Who else we got? Well, it might be RF that does it too. Anybody else, Wes?
WY4G.
Hey, how you doing, Jeff?
I'm just hanging out, patiently waiting to check in. But Chris, I guess you're still listening. I'm using an X300, so I mean that's all I could really get at the time. But it seemed to suit my purpose. But other than that, Paul, just kind of hanging out, kind of unwinding after a busy week.
No, for what you have, for your location, that X300 does you a fine job.
Yeah, I mean, you know, later on sometime down the road, I might upgrade to an X700. Who knows? I mean, I think if I could get this a little bit higher elevation, it would probably do me better. But right now, it seems to be working, as you know, pretty good.
No, I agree. I mean, it's like I said, I felt the obligation, well, because I wanted to for personal reasons, but at the same time, I felt as though being net control, it was important that I have the best one. And unfortunately, I had the money and the funds, and my wife let me buy it. But you know what I'm getting at is it so. But where you are, if you're not doing a lot of simplex or a lot of, you know, you're talking to everybody you need to, there's no reason to spend more money.
No, it really isn't. You know, if I could get it at a higher elevation, it would probably, you know, work, you know, just as well as it is right now, even better. I mean, you know, I can probably hear more stations what I can now, but you know, it's serving its purpose.
Well, you know, somebody told me today that that vendor brought in only two, and he sold both of them of those X700.
Excuse me, I believe it. Yeah, they are, you know, exceptional antennas. When I want to put a radio on my truck, I'm looking at some diamond mobile antennas because you know, the mobile antennas work as good as the fixed station. Well, then I'll have a pretty good setup.
Oh, absolutely. I really, and again, I'm not trying to tout Diamond for any particular reason other than I like them. I've used other people's antennas too, so it's not. I used MFJ's antennas on mobile, and I've used the Yaesu's antennas, like the screwdriver antenna. And again, it depends on what you got the money for. And really, a good dual band antenna usually is even a good one in the car is less, maybe $100, 100 and change and something. It's not like they're really expensive because you're mobile. You're already at a restricted level. You're already low to the ground.
That's true. My only issue with mobile is trying to find a place to mount it inside the cab of my truck. It's especially newer vehicles. You don't have much to choose from. You don't have a dash really to mount anything under. Like the older vehicles.
No, you're right. It's a lot harder on the installation process because you're not sure where it's going to fit. And some of them might see them put it in the console or adjacent to the console or under the seat, and you get a radio where you can just mount the head somewhere else. With a remote head. That's a kind of a neat way to do it. Well, all right, very good, Jeff. I'm glad you're in there, and I appreciate you waiting, and I appreciate everybody else waiting too. It's already 9:40. I can't believe it. Anyway, that was Jeff, Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf, and he's in Madison. Great signal as always. Well, not always. Early on, it was kind of bad, but he got a different setup, and it's working great. And he also had a modification to his radio settings, which changed a whole lot. So we all live and learn, on including me, what's going on here. Anybody else, West?
Paul, KO4TR was in there.
Okay, is KO Kilo Oscar 4 Tango Romeo still there?
Yep.
Oh, there you are. How are you tonight?
Doing all right. How about yourself?
Doing great. You're just being patient, and I thank you for that.
You're welcome.
It's only been an hour and 40 minutes since we started.
Yeah, how many check-ins you had in this hour and 40 minutes?
30.
30. All right. Well, anyway, just thought I would check in the net, and I've got somebody else that would like to as well, if you don't mind.
No, not at all. I'm glad you're in there, Carl. Appreciate you waiting.
That would be Carrie, C-A-R-Y, and I am his wife, Jeannie, KJ4ZPZ, Zulu Papa Zulu. He came to the Ham Fest today, but I stayed at home and did home things. Anyway, hearing everybody talk about it, I think I'll try to make sure that I come to next year.
Oh, yeah, I said Carl. I'm sorry. I can't read my own writing. All right. That was Carrie. And when your call is Kilo Juliet for Zulu Papa Zulu, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and the name is, and I didn't even write it down. I'm sorry, because I got thrown a loop there when you corrected me on the Carrie thing. Your first name again was?
Jeannie, like I dream of Jeannie.
Oh, there we go. There we go. That's easy to remember. How long have you been a ham?
I think it was December of 2010 when I got my license, and then Mike and I became extras around the same time, didn't we? I think. No, we didn't. I became an extra when we went to a ham fest in Atlanta. That's right. So anyway, and look, almost 10 years.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it's just that I kind of wish there was more wives and more, I'll just, at this stage, I'm afraid to say anything, the other gender in ham radio, because it seems it's so male dominated. It's not that it's bad. I just feel like we need more, more women in the hobby.
Well, like most women, I like to talk, and what really got me started is one time my husband and I and another friend went to the Huntsville Ham Fest, and of course when we got close in, they were using their HTs to talk, and I couldn't talk because I wasn't licensed, and I'm like, oh, no, this won't work. I've got to get licensed.
Yeah, I got you. Well, that's great. I'm glad that, and it takes, did you have any technical background at all before this?
Not really, no.
Okay, well, no, it was easier for a person like myself to go through tech, general, and extra, which I did in a matter of a couple of months, because I wanted to get it out of the way, because I knew I'd procrastinate if I didn't get it done all at once. But I had a fairly technical background in electrical, mechanical stuff, and I was, it wasn't like it was super hard. And I look at people who don't have that background, I say, man, you're the people who need the applause, because you don't have the technical background, and it took some doing to work through all the materials to like wrap your arms around it, so it made sense.
That is true, but the sad part, I guess it's sad, depending on how one looks at it. I was telling my husband this earlier tonight. I forget what we were even discussing. And I said, yeah, the sad part is I studied and I learned the material long enough to pass the test, but I don't remember all that I learned. So there you go.
Well, let's put it this way. If that being true, I mean, did I get your call right? I'm looking it up, and I don't think I'm coming up with the right person. Is it KJ4 Zulu Papa Zulu?
That is correct. Yes, sir.
Oh, no, that's fine. I screwed up again. I put in the wrong letter. I was looking it up on QRZ. No, you're right though, and I can say the same thing. There's areas of ham radio. I mean, if you ask me to tell you how satellite communications work or how moon bounce works properly and the procedures, and you ask me about those frequencies, and so I don't know. I don't remember. Sorry. They're just parts of ham radio. I just they're gone to me because I don't use them regularly.
There you go. I get it. Yeah.
All right. Well, very good. That was Jeannie, Kilo Juliet for Zulu Papa Zulu. Good to have you in there for the first time. It was good. Carrie was in there, KO4TR, and you guys are in. Gosh, I forgot already. Where are you? Jeannie, where are you located?
We are in northeast Nashville, about 2-3 miles south of Belshire.
Ah, okay, very good. Yeah, I know where that is. Yeah, Nashville messes me up because they're just names of locations. They're not really cities, and so there's no delineation other than if I look at Belshire on a map, like on Google Earth, I get it'll give me the like a general that it doesn't give me definition where it is. Just says there's a name Belshire,
Well, what you need to do is become an Uber driver and learn Nashville that way.
Yeah, I don't think I want to do that, but yeah, I know what you mean. I lived in Florida on the West Coast, and I did business all over the West Coast as well as quite a bit in Central Florida, and I used to know the highways, byways, and backways and alleys, and now I come here and I don't know anything.
Roger, I can imagine. I've lived here all my life, so I know the best and the worst of it. So whatever. But I did enjoy the ham fest today. I got to say, I bought a power supply that works from a guy, and I forgot his name, but whoever he is, he's my new bestest friend.
Yeah, very good. Well, very good. It was Carrie and Jeannie, and they're in just south of Belshire, northeast Nashville. Is there a special name for that area where you are?
If there is, I don't know it. Maybe Kirk could tell you.
Well, I'm telling you, see, that's the thing is Belshire's got a name, and all those other areas around there and all these different names, and you don't have one. I demand one from the Metro Council.
Nah, I just as soon be at the crossroads.
Yeah, very good. Crossroads of civilization, as they say. Well, very good. Good to have you both in there. And I'm glad you enjoyed the Ham Fest. I'm glad that the Ham Club over there in Lebanon put it all together very well again. And appreciate you being there. Is there anybody else west before, man? I'm not even going to do the other stuff tonight. It's taking too long.
Whiskey 4, Alpha Whiskey Echo.
You must have been too busy to show up today, John.
Well, I did it. I arrived actually so late that as I was taking my ticket up for the drawing, they'd already had the drawing.
Yeah. Okay, so you were there. I just didn't know where you were, and I already was getting ready to leave at that point.
Yeah, I was impressed by how nice that whole facility is. That's the first time I've seen it.
Well, you mean the whole state fairgrounds? I mean the county fairgrounds?
Quite amazing what they've got there.
Yeah, it is, and I'm told by people in the know that at one point in recent history, I was presuming that's in the last few years because they said it was, is that the state fair, which was looking for a new venue, and they tried to get Wilson to agree to use their fairgrounds for the state fair, and they told them no.
Yeah, I could see that. Oh, by the way, that battery you were mentioning,
Normally, when I've seen those little batteries, they're always in garage door opener remotes.
Well, apparently I've got one I forgot about.
Yeah, 'cause I just changed one not too long ago.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I'll be darned. You made me think of it again. Now I'm still upset. I can't figure out what that's supposed to go in. I get maybe it'll never turn up because I can't think of a darn thing that I need a battery like that for. Not one thing. And I don't have it the garage door opener that we had with the house that busted some years ago. So we don't. Anyway, just I don't know what it is, John. But you doing all right?
Oh yeah, I just I'm getting ready to head out and do a little work here shortly.
All righty. Well, let me move on because we're already almost 2 hours. Man, the Shevitz, this is a long net tonight. Well, good. I'm glad you're in there, John. I'm sorry I didn't get there earlier. It would have been good to meet you, and I was looking forward to it. But you didn't show up in time. You could have grabbed me, but you wouldn't know who I was unless you just ran into me.
Yeah, I really drug in late. I had a late night and then ended up having to work this morning too.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you're in there tonight. John, you're number 32, by the way. That's Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo, and he's over in Bellevue. Bellevue? Yeah, Bellevue. That's right. Bellevue over there in southwest of Nashville, a little ways anyway. But yeah, good signal as always. There's another guy with the X700 antenna. Does a great job. Anybody else, West? Any latecomers, lollygaggers, lurkers, sandbaggers, scanner listeners, SDR donglers, and what else we got? Oh yeah, the preppers and the end time survivalists.
WE4E for 4, Mike Papa Victor.
Okay, Danny, I did get you checked in, but now you got you. Hold on, Terry. I got to get your calls straight here. Danny, I already checked you in through a relay, but you're good. How you doing? You must have been in your car somewhere.
No, I'm at home, and I discovered an interesting behavior with the setup I've got over here. Okay, I've got a FTDX 5000 for HF, VL1000 Quadra linear that does the amplifier and antenna switching, and an FT991 for other stuff, digital modes and whatever. And they both talk to the VL1000. I don't know why. I'll be calling Yezu about this on Monday. If I have the Quadra looking at the HF radio, the 2-meter radio won't make any power. So apparently there's a little dribble from the driver circuit that dribbles out the antenna because Dennis could hear it, whatever. But it absolutely won't make any serious power. Like the PA is inhibited for some reason. And that defies all possible logic to me. But that's why, I said the other day, I thought my radio was intermittent or whatever. Because I was sitting here piddling around, just kind of listening around, waiting for you to come around the compass with now 33 check-ins. Good Lord, 2 hours. So that's the story behind that. So that's why I just sort of wasn't there exactly.
I got you. Yeah, because I didn't hear you at all, which was unusual, even being mobile. I thought you were mobile, but obviously you weren't.
No, and I'm curious as to why this behavior is what it is. That absolutely baffles me. I'm searching for some reason why that would be the case, and I am at a loss. So I have to take a look at that. But I'll be digging out the schematics. I have a sneaky feeling I possibly might know what it is. Just jumped into my head. But anyway, I'll keep it quick because it's, we're bearing down on 2 hours. Heard Robin 5 by over here, which is uncommon. Heard Earl copyable, scratchy. So we must have a little temperature inversion helping them out. Heard a lot of people that I typically don't hear. Wanted to say congratulations to Ryan and Blake and their brother whose name flew out of my head. The 3 New Hams down there in down in Brentwood. Congratulations on that. And sorry I missed you guys at the Ham Fest today. I was just otherwise engaged. And that just is what it is. And I'll turn it back to you, Paul. Thanks, and WE40 back to net.
Yeah, very good, Danny. Good to hear you in there. Yeah, it'd be interesting. Either the HU is going to tell you you're full of it, there is no problem, or they're going to secretly just correct the problem and say there was no problem. All right, Terry, you were in there. KN4MPV, number 33. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing okay there, Paul. I'll try to keep it short there. I know you're getting long here. Uh, I do want to congratulate Ryan and Blake though also and their dad there for getting their tech, and I think they said the general also. So I think that's what they said, but if not, they're coming up on it. So anyway, got in here a little late and glad you was on late so I could catch you. But anyway, I hope everybody had fun at the Ham Fest that went or had a good weekend otherwise. And I'll let you go ahead and finish up there, Paul. I know you're running late. Good evening, everybody. 73 KN4MPV.
Well, you know, Terry, I haven't eaten dinner yet, so I'm wasting away here. I'm getting so skinny, you can't believe it, can you?
Yeah, you have to make sure to turn around a little bit so I can see it because you're so thin.
Well, I have such a girlish figure, you know. I think it's a size. Well, I'm not gonna tell you the size. In women's sizes, I think I'm probably a 20 or something.
Yeah. Well, it was good seeing you today, and Kevin, and just all the guys over there that hadn't seen them in a little while. Kevin, that's the first time I'd met him, and a couple other guys, I think, first time I'd seen them, and so enjoyed it, and I hope everybody else did, and if not, otherwise, I hope everybody had a good weekend. And back over to you, Paul, KN4MPV.
Yeah, very good. That was Terry, Kilo November 4, Mike Papa Victor, and he's down in where is he? Down in Murfreesboro. He's doing a good job into this station for sure. And yeah, it was great. It's great to see everybody. Always is. It's almost overpowering how many people you get to know, especially on a net like this, and then you see them in person. You go, this is great, you know. And we've really had good participation, and I'm happy for it. Anyway, is there anybody else? Late check-ins, please come in.
K1 SPD.
Hey, I didn't. If you were there, you didn't search me out.
Yeah, we did. Me and my son both.
Well, then I didn't see you then.
We talked to you. Made that much of an impression on you.
I'm sorry. I told you. If you were listening at the front end, I apologize in advance because I get overpowered by people, the number of people I talk to.
Yep, I know you said you're not going to do the sell swap trade or whatever, but I'm going to do it anyway. Got a 1 weekend special, Hamfest special on my son's Jupiter, $475 pickup only here in Laverne.
Oh, awesome! $475 for a 10-tech Jupiter. Does that have an internal tuner? I don't remember.
Negative, but he does have an external one that could go with it for more cash.
Okay. Anyway, since we could do the net, but it's already 2 hours, 9:57. That was Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta. You can look him up on the web for his for his email, and he's still got it right here in Laverne, right? In Laverne, he's got it sitting here for $475, and I think it's a steal for a 10-tech Jupiter. Is that correct? It is right there in Laverne.
Yeah, I'm gonna hop in here, Paul. This is W4SPD, Scott Jr. It is sitting in Laverne. It'll be headed back to Atlanta tomorrow, probably tomorrow afternoon. A little additional info on it is the blue screen model, no internal tuner. But as he said, I do have a LDG external tuner that I might be able to work a deal on. Looking for trades as well. Looking for HF, VHF, UHF multi-mode. Trying to get back to the 2-meter sideband again there, but keep my HF capability. So just put that out there as well. So $475 or trade, willing to talk. And you can reach me. My email is scott@w4spd.com. So it's pretty simple there. Back over to you, Paul.
Yep, Scott, SCOTT, Astaran with the W4SPD. That's Whiskey 4 Sierra Papa Delta.com. Yeah, very good, Scott. That's Scott Jr., I guess we call it. No, I was I'm sorry I glossed over that meeting because we met briefly there at the Hamfest, and I just wasn't even making the connection. I heard the Scott, but I didn't realize that's who I was talking to, and I apologize.
Oh, that's all right. Lots of faces. A few people I ran into as well. They're that I don't remember names, but I remember the face.
Yeah, very good. All right, well, glad to have you both in. That's Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta and W4 Sierra Papa Delta, both Scott. And like I said, they got a 10-tank Jupiter for sale for $475 right there in Laverne if you want to pick it up. And it's going back to Georgia here tomorrow afternoon sometime. So if you're looking for a 10 Tech Jupiter, that's the place to find one in the next 12 to 14 hours. Yeah, I'm glad to have you both in. Is there anybody else late check-ins? And quickly, if you got anything to sell that we need to know about. All righty, lollygagger. Well, actually, the procrastinators have to call me tomorrow because I'm going to get off the air. I'm already burned out here. I've been doing ham radio for 6 hours today. So between the between the Cam Fest and this, we had 35 giant check-ins, and I think that's a record. Is there anybody else who wants to check in real quick, like?
I thought you were going to do round 2 now.
Yeah, round 2. Yeah, I'm going to start at the top and see who's got any comments. How's that?
You created this monster, Paul, so sit back and relax.
I know. Like I said, it's a giant. It's like a giant session for counseling. We get to talk to each other about our issues and problems. I don't know if we resolve anything, but we do.
Yeah. Okay, Paul. Just get your second cup of coffee out. KN4MPV.
Yeah, very good. And again, appreciate everybody on here. Really don't want to do it, because to do the sideband net, there's going to be people that already dropped off, and we'll do that next Saturday. And we had enough tonight, I'm sure. 35 is a new record, and there's even some people missing from that I know. And Mary KN4OEN, Oscar Echo November. I had to think about it for a second. She's still in the hospital, as far as I know. Is that Michael? Are you still there?
Yeah, Paul, she's still there, and she's probably going to be there for about another couple weeks.
Hey, boy, it sounds like it's more serious than I thought.
Yeah, she's going to have to go through some rehab after they finish with her at the hospital. I think about 2 weeks worth.
Okay, well, for those of you that are prayer oriented, I suggest you pray for Mary KD for Oscar Echo November, with about 3-4 weeks maybe total in the hospital, isn't it?
Yeah, she'll be ready to be back on the air. I know that.
Well, if you talk to her, maybe I need to stop over and see her.
Yeah, I'll make sure she gets the word.
All right, very good. Yeah, I just hate to go into Nashville. You're closer. All right. All right, very good, Mike. Appreciate the update on that. And yeah, I'm sure that that Marty will want to get back on the air too. He seems pretty excited by that when net nights come along.
Oh yeah, Marty loves Simplex.
Oh yeah, well, very good. Appreciate everybody who checked in, and I'm sorry it took 2 hours and 2 minutes to finish this, but I think it was. I think it's worthwhile, and I know some of you probably already dropped out, but it's good to hear everybody on the air, and I appreciate the interest in Simplex, and I appreciate all of those people who pass those exams, like Ryan, Andrew, and Blake. That's awesome. And it's good to hear new people on the air all the time, and it really is neat. And we remember we have 2 nets a week. There's another one on Wednesday, and I was telling somebody today, if we have any more participation, we may have to have a third night, or maybe we trade off on, I don't know, split it up somehow, because we can't be having 2 hour. Well, we could. It's just a lot of time and effort on, at least my part it is. Anyway, you guys have a great night. I'm sure it'll settle down. Maybe it won't. Maybe we've started a monster here we've reached that, as Al Gore said, the tipping point. We've reached the tipping point, and we're going to have 50 check-ins next night. Maybe. Okay, we'll just have to move faster. All right, very good. You guys take it easy. We've spent enough time jawing here, and I appreciate everybody who's been on the net. And the interest and the participation is great, and I love it. And I hope you do too. K4PW closing on that 73.
Okay, quick announcement from Whiskey 9 Bravo Oscar Quebec. I'm on a QSY to 6 meters, 50.415 and operate FM. If anybody wants to see if they can make a contact on 6 meters up there locally like that, I'm going to be hanging out there. 50.415 FM.
All right, we'll give her a shot. If anybody heard, everybody should be able to hear that. But that was Dennis, Whiskey 4 BOQ, or Whiskey 9, excuse me, BOQ. And he has got, he's going to get up on 50.415 FM on 6 meters and see if we can hear anybody, if anybody's interested in doing that. And I may jump over there myself. Anyway, this is K4PW closing in it.
Yeah, we can give that there 9-1 machine a run for the money and have 2 nights every night.